Good morning, Diablo fans. I'm back with my TRAVI BARB build. It's been updated and improved. So here it is. Let's run it first so you can see what he can do. Bow. Run to TRAVI. Pick up a stash. Now he is a bit slower than last time, but the MF is been improved quite a bit. As you can see, a bit dangerous with the fanaticism aura, but managing just fine. I mean, I could have drank a juvie, but I kinda didn't need to. Let's work the rest. And he snuggles up that last immune motherfucker over there. Smack him up. Alright, there we go. About a minute or so. Here's the build, guys. We've got 976 MF on main hand, and the way I done that is by equipping 2 grandfathers. Now obviously the damage will be lower from using 2 weapons rather than 1, as you can tell. Let's see what it goes from 5.6 to I would say about 4k average. So you do lose about 25 or 30% of your damage, but you gain a lot of MF, 120 MF, if you have a 5-socket one, which I do. Now what happened was I put the requirement strength dual in this because it gives 20 attributes, and this is the highest damage grandfather that I have. So how this game works is when you swap weapons and swap back, the game will re-equip your weapons again. And I wanted the attributes to be applied on this so that I would reach the stat points needed to equip the other one, and that way save a lot of attributes that I could instead put into vitality. I don't know if you can tell, but my life is about 800 more than last time, and I didn't get any life charms or anything. It's only the fact that this weapon gives 20 attributes, and then I put a requirement ED jewel in this one. So the game, when I swap weapons, he will re-equip the weapons, right? What happens now is he will equip this weapon first, which puts that weapon in the hand where he swings with a bash, which is the right hand right now. So you can tell the bash damage is 5.2k. Now if I would equip this one first, the lower ED one, it will go down to 4.6. And now if I have this one equipped first, and then I equip this one, 5.2. So what happened if I swap weapons, this will be... Oh, every time I done it put the wrong one in the wrong spot. So I went with this jewel to make sure it doesn't happen. Right, helmet is the same. Or it's MF. Now that I have almost no life leech, this is the only source of life leech right now. I'm looking to get a 6%er eventually. So that's something to keep in mind. You kind of want to get more leech now that you don't have anything on your weapon or a string of ears anymore. You get a Scholar's Eye 4-socket again. You can use topaz instead of ists if you want. The difference is 4 MF, not like huge. But I've been playing around with this guy quite a bit, so I've eventually put Istrums in his armor. About to do the same in the helmet once I found one. Laying of hands, again, the same as before. Life gain on melee hit super important in this case as well, because the life leech is so low. This is like the Gucci fucking TRAVI BARB right here, guys. You need every slam on these things for him to survive, okay? Ward traps, 50 MF, CNC'd. If you get Dex, that's awesome, but you don't. But yeah, I mean, if you get Dex, congrats. I hope you do. Even rest would be nice, because don't have even capped the rest, about 65 in all resistances except fire. The reason for this belt is mana leech. You do need at least one source of mana leech, or you just can't attack. So what happened was you can either use a Mavina's belt or put a Vex rune in one of your sockets, or use a mana leech ring. However, either way you go, you either lose potentially 40 MF or 30 if you were to compare it to a Ist rune. So if I would put a Vex here, I would get 7 mana leech, but I would lose 30 MF. So there's no point in using a gold wrap, for example, because you won't have leech. You would have to sacrifice something else, and it's just not worth it, because you get more MF from Nagel Ring, and you get more MF from Ist. Well, you get the same MF from Ist, however, you do get 20 run walk from Avinas. So this is the best belt. Double Nagels, 40 MF, well, MF slam Nagels if you can. Pretty easy to get, you should be getting this, these two rings. Metal Grid MF, you need AR. he's really weak, this guy, but you need to have some AR, so you kind of need to have a Metal Grid, even though you don't want to. The small charms right now have all been changed, so they all have MF and damage, or MF and attack rating, like this one and one more over here, which is supposed to be replaced. These two probably, or whatever. It's not really important to me. These two can be replaced though. Other than that, it's all MF. Yeah, and that's just a Guide, no Torch, no Annie, because Annie doesn't give MF, so fuck that shit. For the for the skills, and I could go over the stats a little bit, I guess, since I didn't really explain it. Well, the way I do it is put first into dexterity, strength, and then I put into dex until it. Well, you get dex from this, so you obviously go to this first, and then you click strength for this, and then you add the dex for this, and then you put everything else in vitality. Nothing really too advanced there. Here, easy as fuck. Max whirlwind, nothing else. 1 point in these. Maxing edged weapon mastery. The reason I went 1 extra point in natural resistance is because after bowing, 1 click gave me 2 all res, so I figured it was worth it. Because what happens with this build is you'll have points left over. This thing I left at 57% after bow, and then I had max bow and max battle command, because there's really nothing else to click in, other than you could, I guess, do max the bash and get, not even max it, but you could almost max it, I guess. However, I do want to have bow maxed, and 3 to all skills is awesome because it helps with all of these things as well, that he kind of sucks at, like all rest sucks with this build, and yeah, so I just went the remaining 16 points I put into shout. Yeah, I don't really think there's anything else you can click it into that's worth it. So yeah, that's it. So you go into TRAVI. Let's go make another run, see how it goes. Last run had fanaticism. It took about 1 minute and 15 seconds or so. Let's do this one. Now I know it's possible to do it faster and everything, but not with 1000 MF. It's just not possible, I know that. Alright. Merc is coming. Show you guys the Merc as well, I forgot, since I actually took his grandfather. I couldn't find a grandfather for him, so I got something else for him, which is a lot cheaper and just as good here in TRAVI. So there you go, another TRAVI run. That one took 42 seconds to kill everything, so probably a minute in total to hork everything as well. Yeah, 52 seconds to hork everything. So the run speed is about the same as before, to be honest. It's mostly depending on what the TRAVI monsters roll. If they roll physical immune, then it just takes time. You might as well, like, if it might at some point be worth just exiting if you have like 2 immunes. If you notice immediately, just go another one, because it's just not worth it. It's too slow. Anyway, the Merc. G-Bane, same as before. G-Bane with Vex runes to hit 95 Fire S, and Arias with 3 IAS jewels, same as before, and a splash on there as well. Now the interesting part, in my opinion, is the Flame Bellow, which is a weird freaking weapon, but it does give 29% fire absorb, and that's the reason he uses it. It has a fire absorb and 190% ED. The ED is decent. Like, if he uses this, he'll have probably 5k damage, yeah, 4.5k. So he does get a bit lower damage with this, but he does survive with the Amn runes in there, with that life leech. What is it? 28 plus 6, so it's still 34% leech compared to 48, which he was using last time. So, but he does manage and does survive with the absorb from this weapon, which is just awesome. However, I still prefer him using a grandfather. It's a bit safer, to be honest, but this works, so I'm using it for now. Yeah. I think that's about it. Nothing else to mention, really. Yeah. The swap. Yeah, the swap is the same as before. Cranebeak, 6-socket Cranebeak, both of them with ists. Get you up to 1105 MF on swap, so that's for your find item, and you have 976 while killing. But you could go, this build is lacking I think 93 MF, or it was 96 or something. I calculated it yesterday with everything that's missing. See how these have 5, 4, 4. Yeah, so there is MF missing, and this one socket here, I calculated it to be about 93 or so MF missing. So technically you could get, 1100 MF if you went all the way, which is pretty cool. So yeah, would be cool to see someone do that, actually. But anyway, thank you all for watching, and catch you guys on stream, hopefully. Peace out, y'all. Hope you like it.